Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. And today, I have a couple things that I want to go ahead and tame. I did go ahead and get the dire bearer saddle from last episode, but this actually is one of them. I have a pair of good level Tidepups around here. I believe the other one should be just over here in the little pond, I think. There should be a max level female around here somewhere. Is that it? No, that's a level 20. I see one way over there. Let's see. But yeah, I'm looking at taming both of these up, assuming I can find the other one. I don't know where it went. Yeah, either way, we do have that 145 male, which, that's a good start. Hopefully, if we can get the pair, I can use them to go ahead and breed them together, so I can start working on mutating them, as I do want to go ahead and mutate these guys. I definitely need to go ahead and figure out what colors I want to use for them, because that's been something I've been struggling to think of for a while. But yeah, fortunately, these guys aren't that difficult to tame. In the first episode, I did find some good ones, and I was struggling to figure out how to do it. But it turns out it's actually not that difficult. Just need to go ahead and pull out something I can damage. I guess I could use the Iggy. I do have another Iggy over in my sloop. I did go ahead and find a female to go ahead and pair with this guy, so we can go ahead and breed them. That'll be helpful for Bloodstalker taming. Yeah, in order to tame these guys, you need to go ahead and lower the health of your creature to below 10%. And before we do this, I just now remembered, you also need a taming food. Normal meats will work just fine. I don't know what tier of kibble, or if they even take kibble, but prime meat will work. Obviously, not as good as some of our options, but it's definitely a good start, and of course, prime meat's pretty abundant nowadays. Let's just see if we can find something over here that I can use. I'm not really seeing anything. Maybe there will be an obelisk squid, and I can get some, calamari. That'll be pretty helpful. But yeah, I was able to go ahead and get the saddle for the bear, which that took me a very long time, because there's not a lot of chitin around here, so definitely going to want to find some spot I can go to get more chitin. Probably have to go to the bog for that, I'm guessing. Definitely want to be careful, though, because a little bit dangerous around here. Hello, Mr. Ichthyosaur. I don't know if this is, what's going on up there? Okay, hold on, what is this? Oh, there's a Pelly. I guess it must interact weirdly with the new wave mechanics. Anyway, sorry. But I have found out, I don't know if this is a bug or not, but the X creatures seem to take normal damage, at least for me. I don't know if creatures they take the 50% reduced damage from creatures, but I mean, yeah, 72 damage, that's how much damage a primitive sword is supposed to do to a creature, so yeah, for whatever reason, it's actually working. That's kind of nice, honestly. It's going to make it really a lot better to go ahead and tame some stuff here. I might actually go about taming more than just a single Dunkley. I really wanted to get a Dunkley, but X-Dunkleys are incredibly annoying to knock out. Dunkleys already have heavy reduced damage to basically everything. When you add in the X variants, reduced damage, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I was really hoping we could find a little bit more. I don't think 4 calamari is going to be enough, but there really isn't anything around here. There we go. We got baby dodo. Hopefully that gets enough. Let's see. How much do we get? 6 prime per, and we have another one right here. That'll be more than enough to tame up Tidepup. Yeah, that should be enough. I'd love to go ahead and use some of the calamari from an obelisk squid, but unfortunately, I just can't seem to find any. Honestly, I've been having trouble finding the Cryptocolitis anywhere but here on this island. I've done a little bit more sailing and gone around to some other places, and there's actually a really good tame that I want to go ahead and get down south. Let's just go ahead and, just to be safe, go ahead and use this. There we go. But yeah, I found a max level Armadillo. Was just on a random island, ended up getting killed by a raptor, which is how I lost my Mesopithecus. But yeah, I found a max level Armadillo, so I figured we can go ahead and tame that today, as it's been a while since I've had one of those, and they're pretty nice, so figured it'd be nice to add it to the menagerie of creatures I'm going to have to be getting. And I definitely want to go ahead and get the Tidepups. Hopefully we can find another one to pair with the one that we know is here. I thought that there was a max level female, but I guess it's just that 145 male. But hey, one Tidepup's better than none, and I do want to go ahead and evolve it. I know how to do that now. I didn't originally, but I finally figured out how to do it. So I would like to go ahead and try to evolve it. I'm not sure exactly. I know how to do it, but I don't know how difficult it's going to be to do that. So I'm also pretty sure I can get the saddle. I think you learn it pretty early, but yeah, here we go. Let's just make sure. 145 male. All right, I feel like this isn't the same one, but that's okay. Let's bring my Iggy over here. Can I? Thank you. So 145 male. What do we have here? 55 male. Just want to keep an eye out for any of them. I think this is the 145 that we had earlier, right? Yes, male 145. We'll use this one to start. But yeah, all you need to do is simply tame these things is go ahead and take one of your creatures and get it below 10% health, which unfortunately I probably should have. Yeah, I think I'm going to go grab my other Iggy. It's got less than half the health here. I think that should do it, right? Yep, there we go. And they will go ahead and fall asleep. And all you need to do now is simply go ahead and feed them. Same as a normal passive tame. And there you go. Not really that difficult. It's pretty easy. Hold on, can we scan it? Okay, not great on the stats. I was really hoping we could get something a little bit better. But yeah, then there's just a simple cooldown. So we'll weaken our Iggy again, and it'll pop the healing. Go back to sleep, and another feed. So yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy to do, and a little bit annoying, honestly. Getting the creature down to low health is a little bit annoying. I would recommend that you get something that you aren't going to care if it dies, because if a raptor comes up, then my Iggy is definitely going to be dying. But fortunately, I do have a dire bear, and I kind of know that the area is clear around here. I mean, we just ran by it. So, yeah, I also end up getting a dung beetle. I found some little... It's not exactly a cave, but it has some cave creatures. There are some Moranios and boas, and I think there's even a scorpion. So I ended up getting a dung beetle, so I can use that to go ahead and produce a lot more fertilizer than a compost bin. But yeah, hopefully we can start growing some crops here pretty soon. Probably just for veggie cakes. I mean, I don't really know what else I'd want to make with them. Hold on. Why is that parasaur running? We good? I think we're good. Oh, I see Raptor's tail over there. Alright, fall asleep. There we go. Let's go deal with that. Oh, I don't have Ebola. Alright, well. Just do that. Wish that thing had a little bit of a stun to go with it. Sorry, Mr. Lystro. Pretty nice, though. Decided to make one. I was just sitting around waiting for stuff to tame and just decided that may as well go ahead and test it out. Let's go ahead and grab the, prime meat from our dire bear. And what is our Iggy's health like? Couple hits, and where is he? Over here. Yeah, fortunately these guys aren't too hard. I haven't really been finding a lot of them outside of this island. This little pond over here, coordinates, by the way, is really good. There can be up to like 5 of them over here, so I'll probably be taming them over here. I feel like they have their own spawn region, as I don't feel like anything else is really taking up the spawn spots. So, should be pretty easy to go ahead and mass tame them. I'm hoping that we can go ahead and use that to go ahead and get a bunch of them, and I can hopefully mutate them. I definitely will start the process without good stats now that I know that I can just breed the good stats in later, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to mutate these guys, what stats I want to mutate them in, considering that they, yeah, I haven't really used one, so definitely want to check that out. I'll have to do a little bit of research to see if their healing is linked to a, specific stat. Whoops. Alright, well, I guess there goes my sword. I'll need to go ahead and make another one of those. Or, well, I guess repair it. I don't need to make another one. Another thing, while we're finishing taming up this guy, I ended up finding a random thing of lost cargo, basically just like a supply crate that was just out in the middle of the ocean while I was sailing. So, yeah, apparently those are a thing. I didn't know that, and that... My trouble? Oh, it scared my Tidepup. Dang it. Bear, hold up. Be careful. Oh, I hit the Tidepup and reset the taming. Dang it. I knew that was going to happen. Alright, hold on. Let me just go ahead and tame this guy up. It's probably going to be a while seeing that we just lost all that taming percentage, so yeah. Hang on. I'll finish taming it up, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, and there's our final feed. Oh, let's check the stats on this guy. Alright, so nothing great. Unfortunately, thanks to the bear over there, did lose a few levels because I had to retame it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend going ahead and finding a creature that you're not really attached to when you're going ahead and taming one of these guys, because, yeah, they're going to take a lot of damage, and you probably are also going to want to find something that has low health. I'll probably go ahead and tame like a dodo or something that I can use. And now, I should be able to go ahead and heal up. I think you can heal creatures in order to gain the evolution process. I know for a fact that you can use yourself. I just want to make sure, because if I can go ahead and heal the creature, that'd be great. Let's see. Okay, it's probably only going to work for, yeah, I think it only works for you. Fortunately, one easy way to go ahead and do that is to get yourself a campfire. Just grab a bunch of, I can grab some wood here. Here, let's do that. And just light it up. And I should be able to just go ahead and, yep, there we go. So, just take a bunch of damage. And then it hopefully should go ahead and heal me. I think it should. Hold on. Let's go ahead and see what this... converts damage taken into a heal over time. Okay. How exactly do I use the, Let's see, do I have to... Let's try this. Taking a bunch of damage. No? Alright, that goes ahead and just heals me. That's weird. I thought they was supposed to go ahead and use the, normal dispel ability. Yeah, the buffer isn't... Yeah, the buffer's not there. Looks like we can put a hat on him. Huh, I thought that they were supposed to go and heal you that way, but I guess not. That's kind of weird. I thought they were supposed to just heal you whenever you start taking damage and there's a cooldown on it. Go ahead and toss him off and put him back on. Maybe it's just not working for some reason. I'll probably have to go ahead and get him a helmet. Just to go ahead and help keep him alive. Try this again, maybe? Yep. Wait. Come on. Get on top of the fire. There we go. Maybe it doesn't work with, damage that you kind of inflict upon yourself. Maybe they kind of saw through that and decided to patch it. And, yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, I need to go ahead and use the, regenerative health buffer thing. I have to manually activate it. Is there, like, an easy way to do that? Yeah, I do it that way. It heals me. It's not doing the same thing, though. Increase health buffer threshold. Alright. I guess I still need to figure out how to use these guys. Hang on. Let me quickly go ahead and look into this. Okay, so it's quite a while later, and I've finally gone ahead and figured this thing out, and I have that first Tidepup ready to evolve, and I actually have a second one that is almost ready to evolve. It just needs one more growth surge. Because I did a horrible job to explain this before, I'm just going to go through it one more time properly with the right information. So, the health buffer threshold basically tells the Tidepup how much health you can have in the bottom right of your screen. The second status effect that shows up, the health buffer one that has a number, I think I got up to like 88 max when I was sitting on the campfire. That's basically how much damage will be converted into healing when the health buffer activates. So the threshold basically tells the Tidepup how high that number needs to be before it activates. So for example, if you set to 50, if you take up to 50 damage, it will immediately heal you. If set to 250, you have to wait till you take 250 damage. Health does not permanently stay there, and it does drain. That's why the campfire only got up to 88, because at that point, I started losing health out of the buffer because of how long it's allowed to stay in there while still gaining some. So if I got bit by a dire bear, for example, and it dealt 200 damage, I'd have 200 down there. So you need to be careful when handling things like that. If you take one very big hit, no matter how big it is, as long as the number of damage that you take is higher than your threshold, you will be healed. Meaning you can set it all the way down to 50, and if I tank 500 damage and somehow survive, I will still go ahead and get healed all of it back. However, if I only get hit by, say, 60 damage and I have it set to 50, then it will immediately heal me instead of waiting, where I then could take extra damage and then push it all the way over to 100, in which case I may well set the threshold to 100. I'm not exactly sure what the ideal way to go ahead and use that. I'm sure it depends on the scenario and what you're doing. But yeah, that's how the threshold works. As for how you evolve them, you do have to have them heal you automatically. I feel like manually doing it doesn't really work. It might have worked once or twice during my testing, but for the most part, you want to have it automatically. The method I chose to do this was to build a giant tower and jump off of it. I take a bunch of fall damage, and the Tidepup would heal me. Now, the part that I really don't understand, and I think I figured it out, but I'm not 100% sure, is how it determines whether or not the healing it does will actually trigger a growth surge. So, hold on, let's just hop off here and see if it works this time. Not that time. So, the first variable, I believe, is it's just chance. There is probably, I want to say, a 25% chance that anytime the Tidepup heals you, it's going to go ahead and trigger a growth surge, therefore it's going to progress the evolution process. However, I feel like there's also a cooldown on how often you can get the surge. Therefore, say you can't just keep jumping off a tall cliff constantly and have it go up over and over and over again. So it seems that I gave it about a 5-minute period in between after a growth surge and then when I'd start going ahead and having it heal me all over again. And that seemed to work, so I kind of just went ahead and did some stuff around the base. That's how I got a fridge, and I got a fabricator, a bunch of other stuff, just by going ahead and going around and doing things while waiting for that period to go away. I can't actually confirm that's how it works, but from my own testing, that's just seems like the best way to do it. And there we go. Now we have both of them all ready to evolve. So yeah, another thing is if you make, I believe this is 8 walls high, you pretty much can just jump off with one, it'll trigger the growth surge, toss it on the ground, grab the other one, and then jump off again. And if it doesn't trigger the growth surge on them, you can just perfectly swap them out and you don't have to wait for the cooldown at all. But yeah, you can use campfire. I don't know if it has a higher chance. I'm pretty sure that the amount of damage does not matter. I tried testing as much as I can, but as far as I know, it really is just chance, and there does seem to be a cooldown. But let's finally go ahead and evolve these guys. From what I understand, there's 2 ways to evolve it. This one seems, the one here on the right, seems to just make the small Tidepup better. So it stays as the shoulder pet, but it goes ahead and gets its abilities improved. I think. That's what I understand from everything I've seen. Metamorphosis is the one that you want if you actually want to make it bigger and into the mount. So, before I do that, I want to go ahead and check to see these guys' stats to see which one I'm going to want the mount to be. Looks like that one has the better health, and does this one have better damage? Significantly. Okay, so this is probably the one I want as a mount. And this one, I think I'll keep this one as a shoulder pet. So let's go with the shoulder pet first. Let's do this. Okay. Enhanced Tidepup mounted. Okay. So, extra increased health recovery and reduced oxygen consumption. So, I don't think it changes how the healing works. I think it just increases the standard buff that you get. So probably not particularly useful. I mean, it's hard to tell just how much better it is. It doesn't have concrete numbers, but either way, you can stay... Hold on. You can stay underwater for a very long time, and you won't lose oxygen, so it goes down incredibly slowly. Let's see. Yeah, alright. So, anyway, it goes down ridiculously slowly. You could be underwater for a very long time. I don't know how much better it is, but, it's definitely alright, and it would be nice to have one, but I would honestly probably rather just go ahead and run around with one that's unevolved, just to go ahead and help the evolution process. That way, if my big one ends up dying, I can go ahead and just evolve the one that was on my shoulder instead of keeping it this way. That's just my personal preference. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and evolve this guy into the big one. See what happens here. Oh. There we go. Okay, so that is a big Tidepup, and from everything I understand about these guys, they're basically just an aquatic Daedon. Personally, I really hope that it doesn't use food, because that is my number one problem with the Daedon. If you know how Daedons actually work and all the math that goes into it, you'll understand why I have such a problem with it. But let's just go ahead and make this guy a Tidepup saddle, and I should have everything? I don't have wood. I probably burnt it all into fire for metal. Hold on, let me quickly just go hit a tree. Alright, here we go. That should be enough. So, yep, there we go. Tidepup saddle. Just give it a few seconds to go ahead and actually craft it. And yeah, so one other thing I do want to mention is I was really nervous about this. You can breed these guys without evolving them. So you can just take two that you freshly tamed and pair them together. The only problem is they do have to be underwater. They are amphibians, so that does make sense. Let's go ahead and give this guy the saddle. And I haven't actually gone ahead and looked into the abilities of the larger ones, so hopefully that doesn't backfire on me. Does look like we're actually not that slow on land. I mean, we're not fast, but I should probably be really careful about going in the water over here, as it's pretty dangerous. But let's see, we have just a standard melee attack. Let's go quickly. Where's the dodo? Just for comparison, how much damage does he do? I thought I heard one around here. There we go. See one way over there. Let's see. I noticed we don't gain any statuses. Oh, never mind. Maybe we do. Hold on. Increased health recovery when idle in water or both. Okay. So that's good, I guess. And let's just hit the dodo. Okay, so that's not a lot of damage. Yeah, we only have about... So that's probably around, like, 30 damage, just as base. Let's see, regenerative reversal. Let's see. That seems to just trigger regenerative status. Okay, it has a bit of a cooldown. Let's see, regenerative status, hold. Okay, I'm guessing that goes ahead and just applies the healing aura. I need to be really careful in here, because, yeah, there's so many megalodons. Hang on, I'm going to go ahead and go to a bit of water where there isn't a bunch of megalodons. I'm just going to take the sloop out to another island, and we'll see how that goes. So, hang on a second. Alright, so I made it to a much safer spot, and I decided to go ahead and check to see what the abilities actually do, just to go ahead and make sure that I was using them properly. So, the first thing is, apparently there is some way that this guy goes ahead, and I'm assuming it's whenever he takes damage. Let's go ahead and just get hit by this meg here. Yeah, we get the regenerative buffer, which we simply can go ahead and use to heal ourselves, basically the same way that the shoulder mount one works with you. Also, the second ability that he's able to do with the same button, the same thing, is he's able to go ahead and regenerate your creatures. He's basically able to apply the exact same thing, except to a single creature that you target. So whenever they take damage, they will go ahead and basically regenerate it for a short amount of time. Next option that they have is to go ahead and start a regenerative healing area. Okay, it is consuming food to heal allies. That's not great. We'll go ahead and turn that off. But yeah, same thing as a Daedon. And then we have the Dispel ability, the same thing that goes ahead and clears all negative status effects on both the mount and you, same thing as the shoulder one does. Another interesting thing it can do is turn on Life Sense, which will show the percentage of nearby creatures' health. So it'll go ahead and show you if your allies are damaged or not. I'm assuming. I mean, I have it turned on. I'm guessing that things that are at 100% HP probably don't show up. So hang on, let's just see if I can go ahead and hit him a little bit. And let's see, does it show up now? No, I'm guessing it only works for creatures that are relatively low. So yeah, decent support. Could be decent for, the motor fight, I guess. I mean, I'm looking at the health here, and I mean, it's not too bad. I do wonder, though, if you could level them as a shoulder pet, and then evolve them like the Veilwind, Solwyn, and Malwyn. I definitely prefer their evolution mechanic. I mean, for the sake of just having one of these guys, just to get one early on, I mean, it's definitely interesting to just tame the shoulder pet, and then after a while of just having it on your shoulder, it eventually evolves and becomes the fully grown adult. But honestly, waiting till that point, honestly, just is very long. So if you want to just go ahead and just get the mount and you don't want to go through the experience, I mean, accidentally getting one, let's just put it that way, accidentally getting one just by overtime is great, but actually trying to just go strictly just for the mount is awful, and it takes forever. And yeah, I don't like it. But yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to take this guy out on doing, but I do have one other thing that I want to tame today. I don't remember if I mentioned it. It's been a while since the first session of recording I had to do for this, but I found a max level Armadoggo on an island that I went to while looking for a bunch of chitin for that bear saddle, and I want to go tame that because max level Armadoggo would be really nice. I'm also looking around at all the Ziffies around here. Looks like they're all pretty bad. I want to stay away from them, though, because they can probably grab me off the back of my Tidepup. The other nice thing I'm noticing is you can use weapons on the back of these guys, which is really nice. There's not a lot of aquatic creatures you can do that with, so definitely nice. But yeah, I think I want to go for that Armadoggo. Unfortunately, the island is really, really far away. It's the furthest west one, so really far away. Actually, maybe it's not the furthest. I think it's Death.3. Yeah, I think it was Death.3. Yeah, I'll have to go find it. I vaguely remember what the island actually looks like physically, so I'll have to head over there. I think I do want to go ahead and grab the shoulder pet Tidepup, though. I think I'm going to want to go ahead and grab that. So yeah, let me just head over there, and then we can go ahead and check on the Armadoggo taming. But here, let me just go ahead and safely get on the boat first. It's going to be really risky because there's a lot of stuff in the water here. Pick him up. Alright, let me on. Looks like we're good, and yeah, for whatever reason, this seems to be a problem where you kind of get stuck on the lip. It's only on the port side, though. Starboard works perfectly fine, but yeah. Let me head over to that island to go get that Armadoggo, and then we can go ahead and tame that guy up, and then I think that might be it for this one, but yeah. Let me head over to that island and go back home and pick a few things up, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, there's the island that the Armadoggo should be on. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this right. I went ahead and picked up the shoulder Tidepup as well as the dire bear just to go ahead and help me. I'm probably going to need to farm a bunch of prime meat in order to tame this guy. I can't remember how much it said it's going to take, but I know I'm going to be able to do it. It's not going to be too much. I also went ahead and made up a saddle, or, well, the armor for the Armadoggo, as well as the, I believe it's the picnic set, the one that goes ahead and refills your food and water whenever you run low on that, just because I figure for now that's probably the one that I'm going to want to use. Let's see, I think it should be right around here, I believe. Yeah, just a little bit further here. My death was like right on top of it, so yeah, right over here. Alright, let's go ahead and just, there we go. Should be able to just pretty quickly head over there. Alright, think that should work. One thing I am a little bit nervous about is Armadoggos do not like it when there is predators around, so I'm going to have a really difficult time convincing them to not try and kill my dire bear. as well as I'm going to have a difficult time with them, not killing the armor doggo, the rest of the pack not killing him once I tame him. Oh, that's not a good sound. Okay, hold on, we may be in trouble here. Oh, yeah, no, we are in big trouble. Dodo, please. No, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, this could be a problem. There we go. Perfect. In the water. Alright, we should be fine in here. I didn't know there were aloes here. When I was here, there were not aloes, so that's good to know, I guess. Now, let's go ahead and reload this thing. It's nice. Its ability to stop you from taking fall damage is great, but unfortunately with that reload time... let's check his level, actually. 95? I mean, owls always travel in packs, so there's probably more, but... yeah. I mean, hey, that's prime meat, so I guess that's the good news. I'm kind of thinking about mutating aloes, though I kind of want to go for the X variant, if I'm being honest. I figured that X variant would be really cool, so maybe I should go ahead and work for that one, not the normal one. Especially because the normal one's only going to be here in the ocean biome. Well, if you even want to call this an ocean biome, seeing that there's so many islands, but yeah. I'll probably go for the X variant. But hopefully the armor doggo's still here. I just did all this for nothing. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit difficult to get up there, but I might be able to launch myself. Let's do that. Yep, there we go. I think I can make that jump. Yeah. And probably gonna need one more. I launched myself a bit too far. That worked? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I gotta be honest, for the purpose of just slight traversal, I'm really liking this thing. I'll definitely need to go make some more ammo, but the armored doggos... yeah, here they are. So this should be the 150, right? Yeah, there we go. 150 male. Yeah, I'm more scared about the multiple other ones around here that are gonna be very mad at me. Let's go ahead and heal this raptor. Go. Are they fighting the raptor? Oh, there's a Tidepup. I should probably deal with this guy, actually. There we go. Ooh, 140. Almost feel bad. Almost. Okay. Yeah. I'm a little uncertain as to how I'm going to do this without having the rest of them go ahead and cause a problem. I'm wondering if maybe I should try and bola the 150 and lead the other ones away. Actually, that's a good idea. Actually, I got a better idea. Let's go ahead and grab my bear. Let's... oh, there's another one over here. This one seems to be all on its own. Is this a good level? No, 20, and it's mate boosted. This one? 50. Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna... not again. Come on. Leave me alone. There we go. Alright, yeah, you guys are probably gonna try and eat that, aren't you? Here. What do you guys say to a giant bear? Oh, where? Are you guys fine with a bear? Huh, I thought they got mad if there was a bear. That Kentra will probably get mad. So Kentra don't care, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get rid of as many of them as I can. So I hopefully can go ahead and make it pretty easy to go ahead and tame the other one. Go. Fortunately, I don't think they give prime meat, so I'll have to go ahead and find something. That aloe will work. Ooh, parrot. What do we have? Can I scan? 20. Alright. Definitely, I have room for another shoulder pet, seeing that I got a Tidepup. That, honestly, with how ridiculously overpowered the Tidepup's healing is, honestly, the fact that they allow you to have another shoulder pet is just ridiculous. Especially if you were to have a Spring Drakeling. That's honestly too much regen. You shouldn't be able to have that much regen. That's ridiculous. This one? Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can try and clear out the rest of them. Where are they? You know, I'll just have the bear here, and I'll set them on neutral. If they're fine with the bear being around, then I can just have the bear deal with them once we're done taming. But yeah, we need to go get some prime first. Trike doesn't have a baby, so we can't use that. Dodo? You have a baby? Ow, max level, Dodo. Why'd we waste a max level on something like that? 140? Jeez, what's going on here? Where are the rest of those aloes? There's no way there's just a single aloe all on its own. That, like, never happens. Yeah, seems like we're struggling to find prime. Here, let's just hop off and maybe there'll be something down here. Oh, I hear an aloe, and apparently it lagged and I didn't hop off immediately. That's just great. Level 50... I don't really know if my bear is going to be able to handle that, but... who am I kidding? It's a bear. We can handle it. Oh, wait, I'm actually swimming. May have a problem then. I can't use my heavy attack. Come on. There we go. How much prime? 1? That's it? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go try and find us some prime meat. Apparently this may take a while, so yeah, I'll bring you guys back when we have some. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit off that serrata I just killed. Honestly, with that, I might have enough. Oh, lag. Might have enough to go ahead and tame up that armadillo. That, or at the very least, I can get the process started. Oh, there's more of them here. 145 male. That's not the one that I was originally going for, but I'll definitely keep that in mind. Not going to mutate these guys. I mutated them back on extinction, so I don't really feel the need to do it again for a while, but definitely do want to go ahead and get some of them. Here, let's go ahead and remember correctly, I need to drop it on the ground, and hopefully the right one finds it. Unfortunately, he's kind of just sitting in the water now. Oh, there we go. He did notice it for a second, though. There we go. Come on. Alright, over here. Come on. It's right in front of you. You can clearly smell it. No, that one notices it. This was honestly the number one thing that annoyed me about armadillo taming. There we go. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright, that does do a pretty decent amount. So I should have enough. I just need to be smart with it. Oh, I forgot that they do that. Where do you... figure out where it popped up at. Unfortunately, seeing that it's pack leader, pretty easy to find it. That's... yeah, that's the 90. Alright, let's go find him. Oh, wait. Yeah, duh. Should have realized that. There. Back on the ground. Alright, he's smelling it. Okay, I remember that this is actually pretty easy now. I'm remembering how this went. So finding them on extinction was a nightmare, so hopefully this island's a little bit better. Here are the coordinates, by the way, just to go ahead and confirm. There's roughly what the island looks like. I don't know if they spawn on multiple islands or if it's just this one, but yeah, I know that these guys are pretty sought after. At the very least, they're a companion, which, I mean, no harm in having one of them. I'd probably prefer a Veilwind, but... come on. There we go. At least I'd prefer a Veilwind if it's mutated. Having mutated both companions in the game right now, I can confirm the Veilwind is definitely the better one if you mutate it. That thing is an absolute nightmare. I miss him. Mischief was fun. Sad not have him here anymore, but it's fine. Alright, well, if he's just gonna cross, then I'm gonna have to head back over. Weird, I thought that they didn't like it whenever you had, any tames out with you. I thought that they'd get mad at a dire bear, but I guess not. So I guess that's nice. Makes taming them a lot easier. Definitely gonna need to be really careful because the minute that this guy gets tamed, the other two are gonna get really mad at him. So my bear's going to have to go ahead and take him out. Fortunately, that shouldn't be that bad. I mean, it's a bear, so. Alright, let's see. Come on. There we go. Alright. Should only take 2 more, which is exactly how much prime. Oh, I have enough for 3. Where did I get all this prime? I must have harvested some extra that I didn't realize. Could use it for this Tidepup, but yeah, that's going to be a little bit annoying to do over here now. Yeah, I definitely need to go ahead and get to the point where I can start making kibble so I can go ahead and tame some with that. That'll make it so much easier. Yep, alright, that works. At the very least, I want to get a female so I can start mutating them, because definitely want to go ahead and get that done. Gonna have a lot of stuff to mutate here in the ocean biome, but that's okay. Keeps things interesting, and I've never really mutated aquatic stuff before, so... Actually, no, yeah, I don't think I've mutated a single aquatic creature, so yeah, this will be nice and new for me, so that'll be fun. Kind of. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be annoying to pack them all together, but yeah. Either way, this should be last feed here in a minute, assuming that go ahead and actually tame. Should work. There we go. Alright, and fortunately he went away from the rest of them, so I should be able to just quickly go ahead and pop that on. I'll have to figure out which one I'm going to want later. I kind of thought about getting the med brew one, but I figured that, I mean, with a Tidepup, I don't know if I need that much healing, but I don't know, it might be nice to have access to it. I'll definitely be thinking about it a lot more, but yeah, for now, I think that he should be enough. That being said, though, I think I want to go and take our big Tidepup underwater. I realize that I can't exactly take him underwater and keep the sloop and take it back home. So, yeah, we'll just go underwater around this island just to see what there is. Hopefully there's something interesting. Hopefully he's not just going to die immediately. Here we go. Pick up the bear. Let's grab this just in case. Oh, no, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Alright, let's see if we can go find anything interesting. Particularly, I would like to see if we can find a Mega Chelon. I do want to tame one of those guys, but definitely not excited to tame it, but I do want to be able to produce an excessive amount of rare flowers and mushrooms, so I'm hoping that they're deep underwater. Oh, we got a Dunkley. It's a 370 Dunkley. Let's not go for that. Oh. We hit the border already? 145 Plessy. More ridiculous Dunkleys. Okay, that's not good. Let's get away from the Plessy. I was hoping I could find an X Dunkley, but looks like they're all just the ridiculous level ones. Yeah, that's weird. Also, I'm just now noticing I'm not losing oxygen. That's weird. Are you protected from losing oxygen while on the back of a large Tidepup? What's attacking me? Looks like just Dunkleys. Are really none of these X? Doesn't look like it. It's kind of annoying. I was really hoping I could find some of those. We got some Ammonites here. That one X? No. Well, Ziffies. At least we know Ziffies are still the X variant. Oh, that one just came out of nowhere. Yeah. It's kind of dead over here. Same time, though, I know if I go to one of the big islands, or one of the islands that's just full of stuff, I'd be dead in a minute, but... yeah, I was kind of hoping that there'd at least be a normal sea floor, not just the border. Hold on. Can I... let's see, how much chitin can I get? Why? Okay, trilobites for some reason have just been going crazy. I don't know what's up with that, but... yeah, that's weird. I'm not seeing a single X Dunkley. I'll have to go and look around. Maybe they're only around specific islands, and the rest of them are just these ridiculously high level ones. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even seeing any mega chalons or anything. I mean, I'm assuming they're pretty rare, but yeah, I think I might wait for a gene scanner before exploring the ocean too much, because aside from just getting like some megalodons for just a quick pack of megs, I don't really think I'm going to be able to do much down here without getting killed. Yeah, this is alright, a little bit disappointing. Just really hoping that there'd be more here, but I guess they probably couldn't have the map-wide ocean fill completely with everything. I really wish that they didn't have these ridiculously high-level untamable cave creatures that just seem to spawn around you, though. It's really ridiculous, and I'm now understanding. I mean, I thought that they just existed and were like normal creature spawns, but they do seem to spawn and follow you, so yeah, despite this being the map where you're supposed to go underwater, it's almost as if they don't want you going underwater at all. Okay, yeah, and I'm not losing oxygen, so I guess when you're on the large Tidepup, it just gives you oxygen. Which is weird because it doesn't say that, but there's no status effect. Maybe it's just a bug or something, but yeah, I guess take advantage of that while you can, just in case they patch it, but yeah. Nothing really around here other than just the ridiculous high-level stuff that's trying to keep me from existing down here. I really hope that they go ahead and rethink that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did it because they want to encourage people to stay on the boats, and I mean, I get that. It is the new thing that came out, but at the same time, it's like, this map is supposed to kind of encourage you to go into the water. I mean, you have to in order to fight Motor and through a bunch of other missions, so I don't know, the fact that there's just so much that's kind of seemingly designed to keep you out of the water just seems, I don't know, it just seems ridiculous. I'm hoping that somewhere along the map, wherever the missions all are, it's not like this, and it's just only around the rest of the map, which is hopefully meant to just kind of be a bit of an open world playground with boats and stuff, and hopefully like the actual Gen 1 ocean biome is somewhere in here. Maybe it's more towards the center up north. I don't know. Now that I think about it, while I angle us home, hold on. Should be right up there at the last death, probably due to me burning myself alive for the sake of a Tidepup. Yeah. Let me just quickly go ahead and check the missions. Where is the closest one to me? Is this sorted by distance? This is alphabetical. Sort by distance. Okay, they're still all, like, 5,000 meters away. Where are they? Just to track it. Where is that? Okay, it's up near the center, so maybe they're all up here in the center, and maybe I'm just too far south for them. I don't know, but yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to go ahead and see what it's like. I'm really hoping that it does get better, because I'm a little bit worried about taming something. At the very least, I have my backup idea of using a Dinosuchus to help me fight Motor, is they would definitely be able to handle it, but I really did want to find some actual fully aquatic mount to use. I was thinking Dunkleys, honestly, now that I know that the taming is the X creatures take normal damage now. I was kind of thinking I could go ahead and use Dunkleys, but I don't know, we'll see how it goes. And I just now realized that my Armadillo can't teleport onto the boat. That's a little bit sad. But yeah, so Tidepups. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. I have to get you a name at some point. But yeah, Tidepups. They're interesting. They're definitely one of, if not the best shoulder pet in the game. Actually, they probably are the best because they give you room for another one. And yeah, the healing is just ridiculous. I wasn't really able to demonstrate it, but you seriously can tank any amount of damage. I mean, when I was testing to see if the number of health healed is what helped the evolution stage, I was in my single player and I was shooting myself with a cannon and casually just healing all the health off of that in a matter of seconds. So they're definitely really good. And the mount seems decent. If you can go underwater without losing oxygen, that's incredibly helpful. I mean, that would make it really good for taking it into like the underwater caves on the island, but Yeah, I feel like that's a bug because it doesn't have a status effect or something that says it can do that, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Definitely want to go ahead and mutate these guys. Gonna have to come up with a cool color combination for them, though. I'll have to spend some time thinking about that, and of course get some much better stats. But, yeah. Taming-wise, I think it's actually not that bad of a method. It is a little bit annoying. You have to go ahead and damage your own creature, and I'll probably go ahead and tame like a dodo or something that I can just go ahead and smack. You can use yourself, by the way. I did end up figuring that out. You can use yourself and not a creature, so I could just also stand on a campfire. Heck, I could even drain my own blood if I need to. I do have a blood pack in here, right? Or a blood syringe? What is it? Yeah, blood extraction syringe. There we go. But yeah, you can use that as long as you get yourself below 10% HP. They will go ahead and they will heal you, and then, yeah, feed them, all that. Pretty easy taming method, but the evolution method, I gotta be honest, drives me crazy. I mean, the fact that there's no real way to speed it up, I mean, again, it's kind of nice just if you want to get one of them just to be interesting, but if you want to actually go ahead and get, like, a bunch of them, or, heaven forbid, if you wanted to make, like, an army of them, that would be an absolute pain. I mean, it almost drove me crazy going ahead and getting these two. It took me, I mean, the better half of a day going ahead and getting them. It took a lot of work, and I guess we must be nearing an island, seeing that we had a massive lag spike there. Oh, and more of them. Yeah, hopefully they optimize that a little bit better, but yeah, hopefully we go ahead and we don't have to grow too many more of these guys to adult stage, and I really do need to figure out if I want to have different colorations for the, I guess the adult stage and the, I don't know, what is it, I don't know, what would you call this? The small and the large one, let's go with that. I might go ahead and have different colorations, but at the same time, seeing that I'll probably just have the one on my shoulder used specifically to just help me around and get it prepared for evolution just in case I lose my big one. Yeah, I might keep them the same, but yeah. Definitely interesting one, and definitely nice that I got this armored dog. I'm pretty sure this is the length of a normal episode. I don't really know. It's hard for me to keep track of how long I've been going for, but so far it seems like I've done pretty well with that. But yeah, I've also definitely been enjoying the sailing. If you go ahead and find yourself getting on a boat, I definitely recommend getting used to it because it's actually really nice and it definitely helps you get around here a lot faster. Of course, you could just bring a Meguana over and you're probably faster than this, but from what I understand, because of the mechanics of how the water works, Meguanas aren't really good at gliding across the water, so if you kind of get stuck in the middle of the ocean, you're going to have to swim all the way. So, yeah, that's definitely something to be a little bit wary of, but this should be home right up here. I'm not really sure if I want to actually live here full time, but at the same time, I mean, I've kind of just adapted to this being home. It's just kind of how it's been, and we're already here, so that's very nice. Hold on, wait a minute. Now I'm glad I didn't... Oh. Did we just pick it up? Hang on. Let's drop anchor. Are we dropping? Can we drop the anchor, please? Why am I still moving? Alright, let's just pull up the sail. Can I access this thing's inventory? Yep, there we go. Alright. Hard poly, I do like that. We got some cannonball ammo. Yeah, that's the, I think I talked about earlier, but the, like, abandoned cargo thing, I end up getting a good Bronto saddle out of that. Not that I really plan on using a Bronto, but yeah, it's a really nice thing, just kind of like little supply drops. I don't know if you need Tides of Fortune in order to go ahead and open those or not. You might, so I guess if you don't have it, you might not be able to get it, but for the most part, it looks like they just give you special cannonballs and stuff, which, I mean, I guess that's nice. Am I able to go ahead and, can I change the ammo? Cycle cannon ammo. It's not really letting me. Alright, I don't know if maybe... radio wheel? No? Alright, I don't really know why it's not letting me. Maybe it has to be in the inventory of the boat or something, I don't know, but... Yeah, this should be home, so should be able to park us here pretty soon. Now, let me just go ahead and speed up so we can get this done faster. Yeah, I guess that's probably all I'm going to be able to have for this one. Hopefully we'll be able to find some better aquatic creatures around here somewhere, and I'll definitely do a little bit more exploring, because I do want to actually be able to go underwater and not just on top of the water with a boat. As nice as these things are, I do want to actually spend some time below the waves. It's interesting there, and I'm kind of thinking on taming a meg. I'm sorry, that really, I guess my brain lagged there, but yeah, I'm kind of thinking about taming a pack of those, or a school. I don't really know what you call a group of megalodons. I don't know if there's an actual term for that, but kind of thought about going for some of those just to go ahead and spend some time under the water, but at the same time, like I was saying earlier, those high-level, cave-level creatures are just really discouraging me from going ahead and dealing with that. But yeah, I'm also thinking it might be time to go ahead and raid one of those forts. That's definitely also something on the list. Got a few ideas in the back of the head, just need to figure out what order I want to do them in. But I think next time, I may need to leave the comfort of the ocean biome and head somewhere a little bit more dangerous and try to go for something a little bit more exotic than just what lives here in the islands of, well, what's really just a glorified island that has a much bigger ocean. Should be able to park myself right around here. You know what? This'll work. I'll just go ahead and stop us, and then I'll just go ahead and hop in here. I'm so glad that they allow you to do this. I'll be fine, probably. Oh. Yep. Oh, hey, perfect. He can go ahead and heal me whenever I do that. That's just great. And for whatever reason, oh! The cooldown's shorter, isn't it? It's only like 20 seconds, isn't it? Okay, well, there's something a little bit late to explain that, but I guess when you evolve your Tidepup and keep it small, it goes ahead and its cooldown for the healing gets reduced. That's nice. Good to know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I got for this one. I'm pretty sure I've done everything I came here to do by taming Tidepups, and they're nice. Taming's decent. Evolution's been annoying, but yeah, I'll definitely have to play around with them some more to see if they're really worth it to evolve, or if honestly keeping them small's better, which honestly, from everything I can tell, seems that that's going to be the case. But yeah, as always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.